Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you are watching Boyd News. Want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a breaking news report coming out from the EU. I've got some information I want to share with you guys that the EU has unveiled a massive new sanctions package onto Russia for their war against Ukraine. We're going to go over some of these details as earlier this morning I did let you guys know in our updated video for the Russia-Ukraine war that the EU did unveil this sanctions package, but we did not go into the details. I want to do a separate video on that and dive into this and give you all the fine print in regards to this sanctions package. So let's start off with this story here on your screen. European Commission proposes new 18th package of sanctions on Russia. The EU unveiled a new package of sanctions against Russia on Tuesday, saying that Moscow's daily attacks against Ukraine show that it is not interested in peace despite recent diplomatic efforts. Yeah, so it looks like the EU's coming out swinging here now, and even though the US is not unveiling any sanctions packages against Russia right now, EU's not wasting any time. I mean, what was it, just 2 weeks ago or so that we heard of the 17th package of sanctions onto Russia? Now they're coming out swinging with an 18th package now, and this one is pretty big in my opinion. I'm going to show you guys all the details here. So we're going to jump into this. Let's hop on over here to Anton Gerashenko on X, and I've got a couple things I want to show you guys. We've got a video here also from Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission. This is her right here in the video. And it says the European Commission has proposed an 18th package of sanctions against Russia targeting energy and banking sectors. The Commission proposed banning transactions with Russia's Nord Stream gas pipelines, as well as banks that engage in sanctions circumvention. EC President Ursula von der Leyen said during a press conference. And she was quoted saying, "We propose to lower the oil price cap from $60 to $45 per barrel," von der Leyen said, adding that an additional 77 vessels of the Russian Shadow Fleet and proposed to be added to the 342 vessels already listed. The Commission also proposed to transform the existing prohibition to use the SWIFT system into a full transaction ban, apply such a ban to another 22 Russian banks, and extend it to financial operators in third countries that finance trade to Russia in circumvention of sanctions. Okay, so it's clearly a very serious package. I want to show you guys this clip. It's a minute and 42 seconds, so go ahead and take a look at what she has to say. It will be in English, and there are subtitles. Take a look.
As it is up to today not showing willingness to achieve peace, we will step up pressure on Russia, including through further robust sanctions. Therefore, we are now proposing an 18th package of hard-biting sanctions. For the first time, we propose a transaction ban for Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. This means that no EU operator will be able to engage directly or indirectly in any transaction regarding the Nord Stream pipelines. There is no return to the past. We also propose to lower the oil price cap from $60 to $45 per barrel, in addition to better enforce the cap on top of the 342 vessels already listed. We list today additional 77 vessels that are part of the Russian Shadow Fleet. We're targeting the Russian banking sector by limiting its ability to raise funding and conduct transactions. We propose to transform the existing prohibition to use the SWIFT system into a full transaction ban. And we propose to apply such a transaction ban to another 22 Russian banks. We also propose to extend the transaction ban to financial operators in third countries that finance trade to Russia in circumvention of sanctions. And we also propose to sanction the Russian Direct Investment Fund, its subsidiaries, and its investment projects.
Okay, so we can see a pretty massive sanctions package announced here from the EU, and not waiting for the US to respond with sanctions onto Russia, going right ahead with this 18th package of sanctions. So just in case you missed some of the details that she was bringing up here, I actually pulled up this list that Nexta shared with us here on X as well, and it says EU targets Russian energy and banks in toughest sanctions yet. The EU is introducing a sweeping new package of sanctions against Russia aimed at crippling its energy exports, financial system, and military supply chains. Key measures include, okay, so these were some of the things she brought up, just in case you guys missed it. cutting the oil price cap from $60 to $45 per barrel. This is really big. This is going to force Russia to sell their barrels of oil much cheaper, causing them to lose more money. And it's been at $60, I think, since the end of like 2022. And I'm surprised the EU took so long to change that. Ukraine was actually calling for like $30 a barrel, but looks like they're going to agree on 45. Banning the use of Nord Stream pipelines. So that's Russian gas going to Europe. That's pretty big. That'll be Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 affected. There will be no use of those pipelines, at least for right now. Disconnecting 22 more Russian banks from SWIFT. That's a huge one, too. I mean, taking more Russian banks out of the SWIFT financial system. That was started towards the beginning of the war, and it looks like they're now taking more banks out, and that's going to be a huge hit to Russia's economy going after their banks. Expanding the oil import ban to cover third-party refined products. Sanctioning 77 ships of Russia's shadow fleet. Okay, and she mentioned, I think, somewhere around 342 ships have already been sanctioned. They're adding another 77 on top of that. I'm not sure how many ships Russia has. I've been hearing there could be anywhere from 800 to like 1,500 ships that Russia currently uses for their shadow fleet. But nonetheless, more ships being added to this ban as well. Blocking exports worth $2.5 billion in dual-use tech and industrial goods. And finally, targeting Russia's sovereign wealth fund. And I believe this is something to do with like funding for like foreign investments inside of Russia. So that's going to affect a lot of companies that need funding to try to grow their businesses. And maybe many of these are connected to Russia's war efforts. So just doing anything they can to really hammer Russia's economy here. And it says, Ursula von der Leyen, this war must end. Russia's economy is under pressure and we're tightening the grip. The EU hopes to finalize the package before the G7 summit in Canada this week, where Ukraine will participate. So apparently that's going to happen this week. We should be hearing maybe as soon as like Thursday, Friday, or something like that, that the EU will finalize this package and put it directly onto Russia with these sanctions here. So this is pretty huge, guys. We'll see what kind of effect this does. This should be a lot bigger of a sanctions package than what we saw the last time around with the 17th sanctions onto Russia. So it should be pretty damaging. Let's see what happens here and what it does to Russia's economy, and if it does force them closer to peace with Russia. And we're still waiting for the U.S. to respond as well if they're going to be sanctioning Russia. Also, we're still hearing that Congress might put out a bill that will force 500% secondary tariffs onto any nations that are purchasing Russian oil right now. And if that bill gets passed here in the next few weeks, let's say, that could be very devastating for Russia also. So let's see what happens here, guys. Just want to give you some of these details regarding these sanctions packages that have been announced. And let me know what you think about all these details down below in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.